And Q.
Take two. Hello, survivors. Welcome to the official Undead Labs stream. I am your host today, Lucy Tibbits, and it's International Women's Day. We have an extra special stream for you today, here with two other outstanding women of Undead Labs, aka Owls. Soraya, our super senior producer, and Kelsey, our kick-ass senior UX designer. Say hi, guys.
Hello there.
Hello.
Also, we are giving away a large T-Rex Espresso t-shirt. So please, as usual, type !! enter into the chat throughout the show to get yourself a chance to win. We also have a quick update on the NAACP shirt that was designed by the wonderful Ty Farrell. A special thank you to everyone who purchased, and an extra special thanks to all of those of you who not only bought the shirt, but also shared on social media. The NACP appreciates it, and you helped us to get to double our projected sales. Thank you guys. You are all wonderful people. But that's enough silly chatter for me. Let's once again return to our guests. We also have, as you know, we have the wonderful Joe.
Yeah, I'll be doing that here in a minute. So here's the visual to go along with what you were talking about earlier. Oops. There's Kelsey in very large print. Well, we've done it. We gave you a close-up. Okay. So, all right. So the entry reminder, blah, yada, yada, moving on. Okay, excellent. All right. Nope. Get that off there. Who is this host guy? Why is he here? I don't know.
Special guest star.
Yeah. There we go.
So, assuming people can hear me, Kelsey, why don't you start us off? Can you tell us what does a senior UX designer do here at Undead Labs?
Oh man, so many things. Mostly being conversations with a lot of other people. So UX designer is kind of the player advocate on the team. I mean, everybody's a player advocate, but my job is to, make sure that players are always front of mind when we're working on stuff. So a lot of it's being in conversations and kind of talking through some things. I also do, wireframing, which is the UI, kind of like in a sketch form. So before it's been put in the game and arted up. Yeah, I mean, just kind of a lot of, anytime you touch the game, like any touch point that you're kind of interacting with is user experience. So I'm involved in that usually in some way, shape, or form.
That's awesome. Do we have a vehicle?
We have several, but this is
I like how I just ran down the street on my own, just away from everybody as I was talking.
Way out there.
I can't multitask very well.
I went through the gate.
Yeah,
and closed it.
Right, and Soraya, senior producers are also very communication-related roles. Can you tell us more about what that's like?
Yeah, so I pretty much try to help keep an eye on the things that are going on, what's coming into the game, what we're working on, and to coordinate various members of our teams to make sure that everyone has a clear understanding of what we're doing and when and why.
Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty big job, especially on projects like this one.
Mm-hmm. There's always a bunch of moving pieces and things that get moved around, but I mean, it's part of the fun of it.
Soraya's the person that makes sure that I'm in all the right meetings.
I track. Really, it's just an excuse to make Kelsey show up to things so I can hang out with Kelsey.
Yes.
How long have you guys been doing this?
Oh, Soraya, you want to go first?
I just joined the lab about 3 months ago. So I'm pretty new to the lab, but I've been having a great time. I also kind of made a career shift over from more of a marketing focused career. I'd done some production, which is how I knew that I liked it and wanted to do more. But this is me getting to really stretch my wings and do the thing that I like the most.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's awesome when you find your jam. Like everything just kind of sings, and that's the point where work starts to become play again.
Yes.
What about you, Kelsey?
So let's see. I've been in games for 8. I think this might be my 9th year.
Wow.
Always doing UI or UX. I'm primarily focused on UX for let's see. I think like the last 7 of those years. And to clarify, so UI tends to be the visual development for like the UI. So let's see. Default Switch, you made a great call out to the remake for the UI in Juggernaut. That was our UI artist, Krista. She did some really amazing work with that. And so I've been at Undead for, this will be 2 years in July, actually. So coming up on my 2-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yay. We'll have to get you a cupcake.
I had my pandemic anniversary and my Undead anniversary kind of coincide with each other.
Yeah, we'll have to order you one. What would you guys say is one thing that people might not guess about your area of expertise, or what do they get wrong?
Oh, actually, so a audience member asked a very pertinent question to that, which is what's the difference between UI and UX? So UI stands for user interface, and it tends to be the visual representation for the UI. So all this stuff that's showing up on screen, it's pretty much focused on that aspect of things. UX stands for user experience, and it's essentially any way that the player interacts with the game. So it can be the interface, but it's primarily the layout of the interface, not the visual design of it. And then it can also be things like controls. It can be game flow, like how are things feeling? Just kind of making sure that whatever the design intent is, that it's communicated well to the player. So it touches a lot of different things.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that people have a whole lot of assumptions, actually, that are out. Like if you're playing the game, you don't often think about producers, I don't think. So I don't know that people have a lot of false assumptions. And I guess the correction, such as it is, would just be to point out that we're here. We in general are just trying to do our best to support the devs and bringing their vision to fruition, basically. I like to think of it as, the people that I'm working with have all these wonderful things in their heads that they're trying to get out into the game. And it's hard to do all that and at the same time manage a schedule and meetings, yada, yada, what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do. So the thing I like about production that I've really been enjoying here is being able to do that for other folks. So they don't have to worry about that. So they can focus more on the stuff that they're, trying to make happen.
Yeah, and I can just say I can't even imagine doing that as my job. I am honestly pretty terrible at managing schedules sometimes. I even forgot to get out of the car just now once we stopped. So we had a question from Ludarks, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Wouldn't narrative be part of UX? Or is
Yeah,
I have a couple answers, but
oh yeah, no, go ahead, Lucy, please.
I mean, it depends on the game. Is like the overarching answer, but in your like being, since you have a lot more experience than I do, I'm still pretty new in the industry. What are some of the things that you've seen with this?
Oops, sorry, I just got a little distracted trying to kill this guy. No, I would say that they're related and they work together quite a bit, but they're still fairly different. I mean, like you said, Lucy, it kind of depends on the game. Narrative, includes story, character, lore, those sorts of things. It's kind of like how the world is built or the world building around that. And then my job is to just make sure that you get to experience the narrative and that you're seeing it in all the right places and that it's one second. I can't talk and play at the same time. I'm learning this about myself today.
No. Where are you at?
I'm in the back. Here we go.
Yeah, there was. Sorry about the blotter cloud.
No worries.
I was wondering what that was.
But yeah, UX is there to help make sure that narrative is on display, I guess is kind of the way to say it.
Right.
UX is a weird thing. It's very much like it's a little bit of an enigma, and so describing it is always a little difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely it's one of those hidden systems. It's like when it's bad UX, you feel it, but you don't know
yes.
why. All right. So for my bounties, I've got
wait,
kill
I'm not in the car yet.
I chose.
I thought that was you holding onto the door.
Nope, just
I was
one
like,
of
wait
our
a minute.
undead friends.
Okay, now I'm in the car.
Car wings.
All right. Let's see. What was the hardest part you'd say of upgrading the UI for Juggernaut, or for the Juggernaut edition rather, not the big boys themselves?
Let's see. I mean, like, I personally can't speak too much to that since a lot of that was Krista's work, and I don't want to take credit for the cool stuff she did. The part that I had the biggest play in was probably working on our new tutorial and on-ramp stuff. Worked with Geoffrey on that. So I think the hardest part of that kind of work is, watching user interviews or user playbacks and seeing where all the pain points are. You feel so bad. You just want to make something good that people can interact with and understand. And, it's fun, but it's also, you feel bad when people struggle with stuff. But the fun part about that is fixing it and seeing when that eureka moment kind of happens and you found the thing that works.
Wait, I didn't mean to get out of the car. Oh no.
Oh, thank you, Geoffrey.
Okay, so a personal favorite question of mine: what is your guys' favorite part of the zombie apocalypse? Like in terms of like a genre, or do you have a favorite movie or show from the zombie apocalypse wave of things that is near and dear to your heart?
I don't know that I have one near and dear to my heart, but I like the element of the zombie apocalypse that forces us to, from a story perspective, I like the whole re-examine your own humanity. What does it mean to you? Why do you deserve to survive? What will you do to survive, et cetera, which I know is playing core to the themes of State of Decay, but that's not me sucking up. That's just, I mean, it's an important part of the entire story that I really get into.
It overlaps because we value it too. So you're right on track.
Yeah.
I guess for me, like, I've always really appreciated the kind of representation you can find in, zombie and horror in general. I think a lot of zombie media, it's, usually an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
Again, much like State of Decay, there's a lot of people involved in keeping a community going. You think of like Dawn of the Dead and stuff like that. It's almost always a group of people kind of trying to make it. Oh, why am I driving? That's a no-no. If you don't want to go off-roading. But yeah, I think it's just kind of seeing a group of people working together and seeing the diversity and the representation that you often see in zombie films and other, like Walking Dead and all sorts of stuff. I think that's the thing that I find really exciting and appealing.
Yeah, just the kind of the found families and teamwork aspects of it, especially from people from completely different walks of life. It's like it gives you hope. It really does, especially especially relevant in times.
How did that happen? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No worries. If you get in the driver's seat again, just go ahead and go to my marker.
All right, there we go. I'm in the car. We're good to go.
All right. So, you guys were saying which bounties you had. I wasn't.
Mine are pretty much just killing zombies. I probably should get some Molotovs because I'm using one of the kill 18 screamers with fire.
Yeah.
I'm just here for moral support.
Yeah. I'm here to just, raid things, get materials. My community is still young.
Whoa, suddenly I'm on top of the car.
You must have gotten out.
Power stance.
You must have gotten out when the door was occupied.
An entire train crate just to myself, or container.
Ooh, do we have any Easter eggs hidden away in the State of Decay 2? For myself, I can answer no, because my content has not been released. But Kelsey, you gasped, which probably means something.
I do. I have a couple. Geoffrey was very kind and put my last name in the game. so so that's in there somewhere. Another Easter egg is that, speaking of another familiar name, Brant put a portrait of my dog in as the, I think he's the firehouse chief in the firehouse base here in Providence Ridge.
Oh
yeah,
man, we
Fire
should
Chief
check that out.
Roscoe.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we're in Cascade
My sweet
Hills.
boy.
Oh,
Cascade Hill. Sorry. Whoops.
But no, anybody that's in the that's in chat right now or has gone to Providence Ridge, yeah, you can find it at the fire station in Prescott.
Yes.
very nice. Oh, who's the blue? Kelsey. It looks like you got the special flashlighty container.
Yeah, I'm trying to. My backpack is very full, so hold on one second. I'm
Okay.
gonna toss some stuff.
Ooh, a question from Undead Toad says, "What do we like the most about the State of Decay universe?"
I like the management sim aspect of it, like having to manage your whole community, that you're not just playing one hero who's going to save the entire world by themselves. You're a community coming together, and your community has various needs that you're trying to solve. I'm a huge sucker for that type of game generally. So having that in the context of a zombie apocalypse was especially fun for me because it's, like it puts a little added emotional pressure on the type of game that I like to play anyway.
Yeah, it's like in terms of management aspects, like it definitely is one of the things that sets State of Decay apart. I'm honestly a fan of the network plotline. Just the voice actors are all really good, and I got super into finding out more of the story. Like I'd be like, on way to a plague heart or something, and then suddenly someone would come up on the radio and just stop dead, listen to whatever they're saying before going on.
And I also made an outpost here
Oh, thanks, Joe.
for utility
Yeah,
because I was being silly.
Dropping off
Sorry.
stuff.
Oh, who's blue? Kelsey.
Yes, I'm unloading. I have
but
my pockets are full.
You're gonna want this.
Yes. Let me just let's see. My cup runneth over when it comes to my inventory at the moment.
Yeah, no problem.
There we
Ooh.
go.
All right. Do you guys have a favorite community skill? In like, what'd you say? Or even better yet, if you were a survivor, what skills and traits might you have? You can choose because I know there's so many traits in the game, and it's so hard to remember them all. But I know there's for me, I discovered there was one called Lives on Pasta, and another that was basically I forget what it's actually called, but it's like describing addicted to puns. So those two would be my traits.
Oh man, is kick-ass UX a trait? Because if so, and if it's not, it should be. That was corny.
Soraya,
I
know we have Scrum Master as a trait.
I guess I get that one. That one's free for me.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else would I get? Can I make some up? Like power of naps or something like that?
I believe there is a napper stat or a napper trait.
Excellent.
Or yeah.
I get
and
that
you get
one.
bonuses on certain facilities.
Yep. I am a power napper for sure. So Scrum Master, power napping. I don't know. Can't think of a third. It'll come to me.
No worries. All right. We're getting a lot of favorite questions. But the next favorite question is bases. Like, is there a certain base that you like the most? I know, Kelsey, you mentioned the
firehouse. Yeah.
Yeah, because your dog's in it.
That's a given.
But, yeah. I'm still exploring the ones in, I think Cascade Hills and Drucker, but the Firehouse was like the first one that I finished a legacy in, so that one is one of my favorites. What about you guys?
I don't know that I do have a favorite base. I've just been starting to get to know my way around, so I don't really have a favorite yet. I've definitely enjoyed playing the Return to Trumbull Valley stuff and getting the story out in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Heartland?
Heartlands? Yeah, sorry. I may use the wrong
yeah,
names
no
for
worries.
things, but I mean the you
Yes.
know what I mean.
Yes, no, that's absolutely fine. There's a lot of content in this game, so I was confusing it with the content pack, like with the t-shirts and stuff, and I was like, wait a second, is there missions? Nope. It's
the other missions. The other missions.
Yes. Okay, so folks may notice my background this week is I like to do a funny background each week from that I'm on the stream rather than from various places in the game. This time I just was looking at various magazines that are on the ground. And among them I noticed that there was one that was just called Magazine, and another one that was like Cooking with Pizza 2 or something. So I don't know where Cooking with Pizza 1 went, but
Oh,
Oh,
Lucy, is that?
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. However,
yeah, no, go ahead.
is it Cooking with Pizza or was it the Another Pizza My Heart?
Yes. No, I think that's the one. It's blurrier on my machine, I think, because I turn down the texture quality sometimes. But
Yeah. I
that
had never seen it before, and Brant actually introduced me to that on stream. It was everything that I could do to not just bust up laughing. Anyway, I'll go back to being mostly silent.
so here's a bit more of a hard-hitting question. Was there any pressure individually trying to fit in a male-dominated field, or were you confident in your craft that your work and contribution would speak for itself? Thank you for MRD Gaming for sending that one in.
Oh man, I feel like you saw into my soul with that question. I mean, anytime you're part of a group that is underrepresented, it's always going to be hard, right? Because it's not necessarily an environment that was designed for you, and there's always a certain amount of acclimating that has to happen. So as much as I would love to say just kicked the door in and was like, I know what I'm doing, and just kind of owned it. That's not necessarily how it went early on. I think it's much more like that now, especially we've got moments like this where we're all kind of hanging out on stream together, and we do our best to put a spotlight on folks that may not necessarily be as visible, and it makes it a little you're less of an enigma that way.
Yes.
So yeah, early on, definitely there was some adapting that had to happen. You kind of learn how to code switch a little bit with the different groups that you're in, and as you get a little more sure of yourself and your abilities, you don't feel like you need to do that as much, so you can just kind of be yourself. And yeah, I say these days I think I'm feeling pretty comfortable working with a bunch of dudes.
No, and especially here at Undead Labs, it's just been such a great environment. I've been here less than a year as well, but it's like just from the get-go, just the fact that we have, if I'm allowed to say that, like we have the weekly group or our monthly group to talk about women's experiences at the lab and make sure that make sure we're addressing issues and talking about things and just getting to know each other. I've never been at a studio that's had that before, and it's just created such an awesome tone of inclusion, not only for us but also other issues that I think is it gives me so much hope for the future.
Yeah, I know there's definitely I relate so much to what Kelsey was saying about how it was when I first started, because I remember when I first started, like my first manager job, I made a point of going to meetings and kind of like sitting back in this very like I don't care posture, just to communicate to other folks that like I guess to me at the time it was a way of showing that I'm so on top of things that I can just like sit back, cross my hands behind my head and have these conversations. And as I did grow and mature and see a lot of other women in the games industry, many of whom have been role models to me at different points of time. I kind of chilled out and was like, oh, maybe I can just be my weird, cheerful, happy self instead of trying to pose to some kind of perceived norm of like, this is what a manager should do and say and act like.
Yeah, or even like office culture, I think, was another one for me. Like in some places you'd be expected, or well, there was like not an actual requirement, but it felt like there was an like an implication. It's not a. I'm really struggling with words today for some reason, but it felt like I would have to dress up. And so for a little while, I would try to dress up more. But honestly, I'm definitely not that kind of a person. I do like my comfort. I like my t-shirts and my hoodies.
I hate to interrupt.
Yes?
And I don't know if we've postponed the drawing at all because of the technical difficulties. But I would like to point out that we've got a few more entries, possibly, still, for our giveaway.
Awesome.
And also, we've got some more photos here to celebrate of people who bought and rocked the NAACP shirt that was available up until March 1st. Thank you so much, folks, for making us making the world understand that we have a strong community and we're nothing without you guys. So thanks again.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
You.
Still can't believe we made double our goal. That's crazy.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Ooh. I really like this question. What is the most important item to you to keep in a bug out bag for an apocalypse? We're getting into maybe a little bit of the prepper mindset here, but sometimes, you never quite know what's going to happen, as last year is a perfect example.
I mean, I could say the thing that I always have on me, regardless of what bag I'm carrying, which is a supply of hand sanitizer. So I guess that would be my big one.
Yes.
You can't
toilet paper.
You gotta value that, like even in the apocalypse, because you can still get sick. Keep your hands clean.
It definitely felt like having gold in your bag for a little bit there at the beginning of last March.
Assuming that dogs is not a fair answer.
Oh,
I know. I would bring my dogs everywhere.
I don't know if they would enjoy hanging out in the bug out bag waiting to go necessarily, but you probably could get them in there when it was time to go.
Exactly. They're small enough, they might not enjoy it, but I could make it work. And I think that if they got to survive because they were stuffed into a bug out bag, they would eventually appreciate it.
I mean, I do literally have a book bag that I put my dog in when we go for hikes, because he's like 15, so he enjoys being out with everybody, but not necessarily wants to put in the physical exertion into the hike. So it's a thing that exists. You could totally have a dog bug out bag.
Sweet. All right, I have a dog bug out bag then. So one of my dogs, when she was a puppy, we tried putting her in a little backpack to carry her around, and actually, like, she could peek her head out of the bag and see things, and it made her extremely motion sick. So she ended up just throwing up inside the backpack. The poor
oh
no, buddy.
Yeah.
Dog out bag, yes.
If we had infinite resources.
Oh, Lucy, did we remind the person who won last week that they need to get in contact with Megan?
I don't think we did. So our winner from last week, please. Actually, Joe, you probably know this field better than I do.
Yeah. So if you could, if you were, I believe it was Sweet something. Anyway, let me check the name. But yes, we had a winner last week who did not claim their prize. Sweet something. Let's see. I guess it looks like we can go a little bit longer. All right. So right on. We're going to be a little bit late because of the late start. So I'm sorry again for the late start, folks. We were working out some technical issues that obviously I still need to work on. But we'll get there. So we've got a winner from last week who still needs to get hold of Megan at social@undeadlabs.com, and then we'll get you your prize. And then of course we've still got I think we went live at what, 3:25?
Roughly, yes.
Okay, so why don't we call it 4:20? Be a perfect time to stop.
Cool.
Yes, indeed.
We'll stop at 4:20. We'll go do whatever we need to do at 4:20, and then everything will be fine. So, and everyone else
Double
out there,
ha, ha, ha.
everyone else out there can. Well, I know that's a joke that Geoffrey likes to make in the notes. So whatever, it's all good. So let's see. Yeah, we'll stop at 4:20. That's all I know.
Sweet.
We've got a winner who
Perfect.
still needs to get into contact with us. We've put up the second reminder. Is that correct? Yeah, we put up the second reminder that has some folks on it wearing the shirt. We're giving away 2 T-shirts at the end of the show. So we'll do that drawing at 4:10. And then
Oh,
let's see. Okie dokie.
hey Joe, I just found another survey car for you. If we can find a toolkit.
What?
Yes.
Why do we need another survey card?
Oh, well, if you don't want it, I mean, I would take it with me, but I can't.
There's only one. There only need be one.
Okay.
I'll get back in the proper car. I was enjoying my ride in the truck.
Would you rather take the truck? I really don't need a survey car, but the truck obviously, and it has a little bit more storage, but it's also full of rucksacks at the moment. So if you could help me load these into the survey car.
Huzzah.
No, instead of getting in. Okay, I'm going to be quiet now. I'm sure there are a lot more questions from chat, Lucy. So
Yeah. Let's see. Trying to scroll up from the. So we went to the bug out bag one.
and then if that last one is med, you can just put it in the.
Oh, what would be your go-to DIY weapon in the outbreak?
Chef knife,
Ooh.
just like a nice long meat knife. It's good for prepping your food and for defending yourself. If you have a solidly made piece of steel, it'll last a long time too.
Same, but duct taped to the end of a 6-foot pole.
Ooh, yes. Pole arms are good strategy.
Yes. Oh, actually 2 knives duct taped to a pole.
Wait, like
Just my Apocalypse
Darth
Maul
Maul
fantasy.
kind
Yeah.
of, yes.
Okay, check this. 3 knives duct taped to a helicopter blade.
Oh yes, if I think that I'm not sure if drones like happened in the State of Decay universe before the apocalypse happened, but if it happened in our timeline, I would want to see drones used somehow in the zombie survival, like completely distract a horde with like a screaming drone or something like that. Containers on top of this one. Where's the ladder? I don't think this one has a ladder. Oh well. Okay.
Appreciate the UX shout out from Geoffrey in the chat.
Trying to figure out. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Oh, Lucy, how many deaths of characters since you started playing? I don't know if I want to answer that question. It's embarrassing.
And do we want to put even more of a caveat on that, Lucy, and say, is this while playing at work or is this Staying at home.
Well, I mean, technically, I've been working from home since the pandemic started, so both. But you know.
The artful dodge. I see.
Ooh, we're being asked if we also worked on State of Decay 1 because Soraya and I were both new this year. I'm assuming no, Soraya, but
Definitely did not.
okay. Sometimes people come back, you know.
Mhm.
But Kelsey, did you?
Not on 1, but I did work on 2 for a bit. Towards the end during the Juggernaut update.
Right.
So adding, doing some stuff with the onboarding, adding the execute button.
Was how
Some of
much
those
would you
things.
say, like, with your work, was paying attention to the UX of State of Decay 1 considered in your decisions at all, or were you mostly, or how else were you operating from?
I think a lot of it was just kind of like, hey, what's in 2 and where can we tweak things a little bit? I mean, truthfully, a lot of what I did was just working with Geoffrey and our other designers to kind of pace out a new tutorial to make sure that new players, you know, when you started, you didn't get dropped in quite so cold into the game. So making sure that things were introduced. You know, there was a new mission flow that was introduced. Not sure if folks in the chat have played through that new content, but highly recommend. It's some good stuff. And yeah, so not a whole lot from 1. It was just kind of using what we had and pacing it out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
In lieu
thank
of
you.
numbering how many characters I've killed, I can tell the story of like the first character that died on my watch
Ooh,
because
please
it was
do.
very upsetting and emotional for me. So I was playing with a friend who ostensibly knew the game better than I did, but he drove us deep into the middle of bad territory, and he'd kind of warned me like this could be a little bit difficult. So I decided, okay, well, I'll bring my most combat ready character. She's tough. She'll be fine. And I get out of the car, and 2 giant monster zombies like descend on us, and he just noped the heck out, like got in the car and ran. I was too far away, so I couldn't make it back to the car.
Did he
got
leave
no-
you behind?
He left me behind. To his credit, he wanted to take the car and run them over, but by the time he got in the car, my character had been ripped brutally in half.
Oh,
Mad at him.
yeah. The first time I saw a Juggernaut do that, it was quite shocking.
Yeah. And that
You
was
guys
the
are much
first
braver
death
around them than I
ever
am.
had in the game. Like that was my introduction.
A lot of my Juggernaut experience is like, how can I stealth around this guy?
Yeah. Ever since then, if I see one, I'm just trying to stay as far away as I possibly can.
I do have to say, one of the things I really like about, like, I know how I was joking earlier, not the UX about the Juggernauts themselves, but one of the things I really like is that the rumble controls to help you sense that one of them is nearby. Like, there is no such thing as a stealthy Juggernaut for a great reason. You know, bloaters still have that issue here and there, but we can't exactly give them the same rumble effect unless we made them larger, which I don't think anybody would like. So it's, but you know, it's just that nice extra layer of feedback to help smooth the experience out.
You got to know when your death is coming to get properly afraid of it.
Yes.
It's very brave.
You're driving.
Wait, I am?
Yep.
Oh,
Just-
it shows you in the front seat. It's lying to me.
Weird.
So Marvin 61688 asks, what's the most noteworthy thing you've learned from working at Undead Labs so far?
Ooh, that's a good question. I have to think on that
I would
one.
say I've learned a lot about the ways that different people's specialties intersect. I've definitely had to make an active effort with a lot of folks to try and learn all of the pieces that touch each other, so that as we're going into something and you know, changing it or fixing it or what have you, that I can try and be aware, like, oh yeah, we should talk to so and so because it impacts this other thing that they're working on, which is you know, standard for video games. And it was definitely something that I knew. Like, I'm not new to the games industry. I just didn't work fully in production before.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it was a very different level of depth once I actually got into it, of understanding like how intricate these details can be.
Ooh, wait. Oh, I thought that had a different building in it. I need to scroll down. Ooh.
You're all right, Lucy. I'll take over.
Okay, cool. I like this next question. What do people think you do when you say you work at Undead Labs?
Funny enough, I was at the I believe it was the dentist, and you have to kind of fill out who your employer is. And I remember writing that down, and I could see on the receptionist's face that they were like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's a video game studio. Don't worry. It's not. It sounds creepier than it actually is. It's not anything scary."
It's not a morgue, I promise.
Yeah.
You've heard of the
Oh, no,
Frankenstein
it's
series? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Just look someone dead in the eye when they ask you, "What do you do at Undead Labs?" and say, "I can't tell you."
Just intense eye contact while saying that.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you and then raise you again as a zombie.
Just tell them to meet you somewhere at a certain time on a certain day to find out.
Can I tell a dad joke? Oh, it's kind of a dad joke.
Oh, yes, please.
What is it that you do at Undead Labs? I'm an animator.
Oh my god, that took me a second. That is amazing. Am I driving again?
You are.
I need to stop doing that.
Yes, only mom jokes today. Thank you.
There we go.
Or aunt jokes. I feel like that kind of works.
Rick Freely asks your favorite zombie, and I think he means out of the freak. So the Juggernaut, the Feral, or the Bloater. And I'm not really sure what you mean by favorite, because they're not really a good time in any case. Especially the Blood Ferals. Those are probably the freakiest thing I've seen in a video game in the last 3 to 4 years. Except for maybe the State of Decay 3 trailer with the deer, but it's like just the noises they make are horrifying. I give our audio team major props because it is great and terrible.
I think if I had to pick a favorite, it's probably the Bloater, just because it's so satisfying to shoot those things from a distance. It's very, very satisfactory.
Unless you're indoors.
Absolutely be my least favorite. I have run into too many bloaters with cars while not paying enough attention, and I loathe the.
Oh no! Watch out! Sorry.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Multiplayer fire doesn't hurt me. Everything's fine.
Making everything very exciting.
Yes, I was trying to use a Band-Aid, and instead I used a Willy Pete grenade. Okay.
So there was a request that we kill a Juggernaut to end the stream. But I've done something far better. So there are a couple of things we're going to do before the end of the stream. I haven't found any heavy weapons, so I haven't been able to advance many of our bounties. So I apologize for that. However, what I have done is we have a drone strike incoming.
Ooh.
So
sort of to get indoors.
So sort of in answer to your question, yeah, drone strikes were a thing when State of Decay was made, and you can call them in. So exciting.
Somebody asked in chat, I missed it, if we know any good puns. And since we are here representing the outstanding women of Undead Labs, one of my favorite puns is hear about the Cow Orchestra. They're outstanding in their field.
Oh my gosh.
Audible groan, that's how you know it's good.
Yes,
I know. I love it.
The sigh of
you could use
disappointed enlightenment.
You could use the same for atomic particles. Or no, I guess it would have to be specifically electrons. Sorry.
It's okay.
Too much science for one stream.
Sorry. Well, we work at Undead Labs, right? Like, I don't know.
That's true. I am technically a scientist. Little did I know.
Actually, that is one of my favorite things of telling people about being a game designer is that, when you're in like grade school, you learn about the scientific process where you have to, make a theory and then test the theory and record the results. And what is play testing?
Yes.
Theorizing if the mechanic's going to work, putting it in front of the player, and then writing notes about what weird things they do.
I mean, truthfully, like probably one of the best things I learned in school is a scientific method because I pretty much use it every single day as a UX designer.
Arguably one of the more fun ways, at least in my preferences.
Little did they know I was going to use my education for video games.
Is there a better thing to use it for, though? I mean, really? Oh,
A true statement.
Marine biology would have been cool. I would love to be a marine biologist in another life.
all right.
Have you
But I
gotten
would
to work
also
on any
use the
fish
scientific
games?
Oh,
method.
we are at
Or okay, game?
Not gotten to work on
Are we
any
at
fish
drawing
games.
time?
we are at 4:11. So I'm not sure if Megan is ready to make the call yet, but let's make sure that we are very close. I think we're going to end it at 4:15. We'll make the call at 4:15. We've got a couple more
Right.
reminder screens to go through here. There's a feral. We should slow down a little, let it catch up.
Should we, or should we just keep going? Should we go faster?
Well, I don't know. So anyway, let me
I'm
just
just
hit this really quick. All right. So there we go. So we are going to be having a drawing. If you haven't already, type exclamation point enter into chat to enter for a chance to win any one of these two shirts. They are large size only. So be careful what you wish for. But we'll do a couple of those. Plus, we've put a few people here on display who recently bought T-shirts from us and helped the NAACP and helped us reach
Oh dear.
double our goal. So again, thank you so much, folks. And then I'll be quiet now.
I jumped out of the car to fight these pack of zombies, and then I realized I'm really fatigued and I have no stamina. This is a bad idea.
Where are you?
Wait, I'm in the fire station because I was actually really curious to see if the picture was in this one as well.
Oh.
All right.
But there's so many rooms. Anyways, are we fighting a plague heart?
Oh, we're not.
Or did the Juggernaut show up?
We're not fighting it. I'm just trying to remember how to open my radio menu.
Mm.
Because I have my radio menu set up differently. Anyway, here we go. Everybody be careful. Drone strike incoming.
Wait, where?
Right here.
Oh,
Scooter.
time to actually use the snacks. Oh no.
There you go.
Woo!
Drone strike. Bye, plague heart. It's one of my favorite things to do in game.
Yeah.
And still no heavy weapons. Oh no.
Oh. Get out of here, dude.
Come here. Stomped. Right. Bowie knife. No.
Careful.
Take the fuel. That'll be fine. You guys can have whatever's left of the plague heart.
Oh, thank you.
Also, be careful.
Oh,
there
here
is
it
a
is.
bloater in there.
Where?
Yes.
Pointing at him.
Ooh, a sweet skull sword.
Yeah.
It is a very, very sweet skull sword. I'm going to go get the car and come back to pick you guys up.
Oh.
Sorry.
There he is.
Sort of abandoned it all the way down the street.
He was just taking a nap on the floor over there. Just snoozing.
A nap in multiple pieces. All right.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Upgraded my garden. We've got water. We've got power. Everything's going well. We just used a drone strike. It's great. Let's see. All right. Not sure where else you want to go. I think I could use one more gas station. So we could either claim
Oh,
claim
she's gonna
Sir.
pull you
let's
out,
claim
and
the
then you
fire
can get ready.
department.
Excuse me. Rude.
We'll go claim the fire
Yes.
department. I like claiming the fire
We
department.
can scour the walls for Kelsey's dog.
Yes, I know exactly where it is.
Well, but
Surprise.
that's in the fire station.
That's true.
This is just a little fire
Oh,
department. It's just a little one. It's just a little one. It's not the big one.
But we know in our hearts that Roscoe
Oh.
is chief of this one as well.
Yeah, no, and if you guys want to go and look for Kelsey's Easter egg in there, you just go. It's up on the second level, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, it's just one of the cutest little things you've ever seen. This little tiny beagle with a fireman's hat on. It's so super cute.
He's guest starring the very small top of his head in the corner there. Or he was at one point. He might be hiding now.
All right, and then so reminder number 4, and just to make sure that we get everybody on screen that I wanted to have on screen.
Beagle bomb.
Remember, exclamation point enter if we haven't already done the drawing. I don't know where I'm at. My brain is so fried.
It looks like we've selected.
Our 2 winners.
Yes, we've selected 2 winners.
Oh, check teams. Sorry.
All right.
I've just been in panic brain today after all the
Oh.
technical problems. Anyway, so we've got 2 players here, and of course the artist himself. Not only did he design it, but he bought it, and he's rocking it on social media. So I just want to say thanks to everybody, including Ty Farrell for everything that he's done for last month's push that helps support the NAACP, and thanks to everybody out there who helped us do that as well. And then a big thank you to Kelsey and Lucy, and I'm gonna say it wrong one of these times. Soraya.
You got it right.
Okay, Kelsey, Lucy, and Soraya for being here. I am honored that I got to be your producer / host behind the scenes. Your disembodied voice today. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah,
thanks,
a
Joe.
Great disembodied voice.
Yes, we couldn't have done it without you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Literally.
My internet would not have handled it.
No. So, all right, our winners. Let's get into teams and pay attention this time, Joe. Okay, thanks. Megan.
All right, we've got you covered. Your survivor will not die while you are doing this.
All right. Looks like Robert. Is it Gouillet? I hope it's Gouillet, because that's how I'm going to say it. Either that or it's like Guire. Robert, you won the Fork in the Road T-shirt. Doc Wolf, you won.
Fort in the Road.
No, it's Fork in the Road Diner. But it's written as Fort in the Road. So Fork in the Road Diner T-shirt goes to Robert. Doc Wolf, you won the Trexpresso shirt. Make sure that you get in contact with Megan via social at undeadlabs.com. All right, so let's hide this. Let us go to the proper thing where we can do a proper send-off. There. This is probably the most elaborate show I've done, so I hope you guys have had a good time. I hope everybody, especially the owls, thank you so much for being here. Is there anything you'd like to say as we start to sign off the show as we rapidly approach 420?
Just thank you, everyone. This has been wonderful. Thank you for being patient with us as we go through this wonderful learning experience, and have a happy International Women's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Kelsey, that's up. All right. That was pretty quick. All right, folks. That's it for this week. We love having everybody here, and as somebody who works pretty regularly with at least 2 of these 3 people, I want to say that I consider it an honor to be able to work with you folks. You have some of the best ideas in games I've ever seen, and I have nothing, and it has absolutely nothing at all to do with the fact that you are just absolutely outstanding, wonderful people. So anyway,
it's very kind.
So
thanks, John.
Now we're just going to head out to the outro screen, where apparently I'm probably going to be the only voice, but I'm going to be trying to stay silent because I just want the screen to speak for itself. All right, folks, signing off. We'll see you
Bye,
all again
everybody.
next week.
Bye, folks.
Bye.